And if your home needs to shut out the heat with style, we have the place for you. I stopped by Sunburst Shutters and Window Fashions, the sponsors of this segment, to see what they have in store. Take a look. It is getting warmer outside, so you might be wondering, how can you keep your home cool here in Las Vegas? So we're shutter shopping at Sunburst with John. First and foremost, I love a good story. So I hear you guys have a unique one.
We have a great story. So the company started, our founder was a pharmaceutical rep, and he and his wife were getting quotes on shutters for their home. And every time the shutter rep would come and give him a shutter and do a quote, he'd look at it and kind of inspect it, and they'd leave. And he'd tell his wife, I could build one better than that. I could do it better. That happened like 3 or 4 times, and finally she said, okay, do it. And he did. You know, he quit his pharmaceutical job and started Sunburst Shutters almost 45 years ago now, and his mantra of we can do it better is what Sunburst Shutters and Window Fashions does every day with every customer.
Let's talk shutters now.
Yeah,
you know, what are the best ones for Las Vegas in this crazy weather?
Yeah, so the heat is really bad on window treatments in Las Vegas. Shutters are the perfect product for windows in Las Vegas, and Sunburst makes the polywood shutter, and polywood is by far the most energy efficient shutter. So with the weather stripping, the tight gaps, the great closure, the density of the material, polywood blocks more airflow into the house than any other shutter, up to 30 degrees of temperature that we can reduce from coming into your home, which saves you on energy.
Did Sunburst actually create polywood?
Yeah, Sunburst Shutters created polywood, patented it, and we're the only ones that sell it. There may be some folks in town that say they have polywood, but they really don't. They have something that's a knockoff and doesn't have the energy efficiency or good warranty that we have.
Now this is for your square window, but what about arched windows?
Great question. So there are a couple of ways that polywood shutters can fit an arched window. First is a sunburst arch, where each of these louvers up top can open, or you close them automatically. It's on a standard rectangular shutter and sits right on the top. Same window, different option. This is called a louvered arch. So the louvers run all the way to the top in one continuous panel, as opposed to 2 panels with the sunburst on top.
Now I'm also noticing different frames, shapes, and sizes as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of frame options that you can get. Some of it depends on the window, but you know, you can do a smooth craftsman style frame, large or small. Some of them we mount on the outside of the window, some inside and flush with the wall. It just depends on your preference and some of the window features that you might have.
Now I see you can put your shutters on French doors and sliding glass doors. That's big here in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, it's great. And you know, most of the other treatments that you put on a French door are treatments that might sway as you open the door, like a blind or a shade, but ours is permanently attached to the door. And we do this little cutout so you can move your handle still, and it gives you the ability to, you know, make that fully operable. This also gives you, this is called a divider rail, which can split the bottom panel, the bottom louvers from the top louvers, in case you want a little extra privacy there and a little light here. So this is what we do with a slider. Sliding glass doors typically are used to vertical blinds. Kids pull them down and then you're messed up forever. Not with a shutter. This is a permanent feature. It's on a track, so they slide, but you can still operate the louvers to get the light in. And then when you want to close them, you just close all of the louvers like this, and you just roll it back on the track.
I understand you guys do have a special offer.
Just for you, anyone that calls and says that they've seen us on the show, we'll give up to $500 off. They've got to buy a minimum order, but call the office and they'll take care of you.
And Window Fashions for sponsoring that segment. To learn more, all you got to do is call 702-367-1600 or visit sunburstlasvegas.com. Mention you saw them on Las Vegas Now and save up to $500 on a polywood shutter offer, or order, excuse me. And of course, minimum order is required. We'll be right back.